There's a fine line between neighbors and trespassers. Karen didn't just cross that line, she did a cannonball over it. I moved into Oak Ridge Heights for peace. That's it. No crazy party neighbors. No long commutes. Just a modest 2-story home with a backyard pool. I actually maintain myself. Chlorine balance? Spotless. Algae control? Locked in. Pool filter? Cleaned every 2 weeks. This was my spot to unwind. Until Karen decided it was hers too. The first incident wasn't even the pool, it was the gate. She came over during my second week. I'm Karen, president of the HOA. Her handshake was like being grabbed by a tax audit. I notice your side gate swings outward. You want to fix that. It's not compliant with Section 4B, Paragraph 6. I blinked. I'm not part of the HOA. My lot was grandfathered in. She smiled, the kind of smile you'd see before a shark attack. Well, around here, we still encourage good neighbor behavior. Week 2, I get home and find a flyer taped to my door. Community pool rules. Only it was for my pool. I hadn't even finished setting up the umbrella. I tossed it in the recycling, and the drops-in started. First time, it was just saying hi. Second time, she accidentally wandered in while I was grilling. The third time, I walked out with my coffee and found her on a lounge chair, in her swimsuit, reading a paperback like it was a public resort. "What are you doing?" I asked calmly, though internally I was screaming. Karen didn't even look up. HOA meeting was stressful. Just needed a quick soak. "You do realize this is private property? Or relax. This is community morale stuff. People need a place to gather." I stood frozen, coffee halfway to my lips. Karen smiled over her sunglasses. "Besides, you're rarely here during the day. It'd be a shame to let it go to waste." I walked inside and ordered 2 things online. A new smart lock for the gate. A hidden camera disguised as a solar light. The footage that week? Worse than I thought. Karen had come over 4 times while I was at work. She didn't just sit by the pool. She swam. She used my towels. She moved things. One day she brought over a friend and even unpacked a cooler. That was war. But it wouldn't be loud. It wouldn't be messy. It would be slick. I work in biotech. On the side, I help a buddy test viscosity compound for a startup that makes clean gym equipment coatings, non-toxic, biodegradable, but ridiculously slippery when wet. And they're bright blue. So one Friday night, I drained 20% of the pool, diluted the mix, and added in a harmless, but utterly useless, slippery gel compound. To the naked eye, it just looked like a brighter pool filter. To anyone trying to walk into it, like a goddess of the HOA sun, a disaster. It took 48 hours. Sunday, 11:02 a.m., Karen returned. The camera caught everything. She opened the gate with a spare key. Still not sure how she got it. Probably copied mine before I installed the smart lock. She set down her oversized pink tote, pulled off her cover-up, and dipped 1 foot in. She wobbled. Then, gracefully, like a deer on ice, slipped, spun sideways, and face-planted into the shallow end. It wasn't dangerous, but it was hilarious, especially the part where she tried to climb out and kept sliding like a cartoon character in an oil spill. Her sunglasses floated beside her like shame buoys. Now here's the best part. She didn't know I was home. I stepped out with a towel and a GoPro in hand. Quiet. Calm. She was mid-crawl to the steps, panting like she'd run a marathon. "You okay there?" I asked. She whipped around. "What did you do to this pool?" I shrugged. "Maintenance. This is unsafe." I smiled. "This is private. Also, you're trespassing." Her eyes narrowed. "You'll regret this." I pointed at the GoPro. "No, but you might." Karen left, fuming, slipping again on the way out. An hour later, 2 HOA board members showed up. Both looked sheepish. "We got a complaint," one said. "Karen says you've created a hazard." "Funny," I replied. I was about to report a repeat trespasser. Then I showed them the footage. They watched in silence. One even chuckled. "Is that gel? Biodegradable. Non-toxic. Slippery as hell. Safe for pets. Not great for Karen, though." He handed the GoPro back. "We'll, be speaking with her." The next morning, my inbox exploded. A neighbor anonymously sent me a screenshot. Karen ranting in the HOA Facebook group. "He poisoned the pool. He could have K***********. me. It was blue. Comments underneath. Green circle, wait, you trespassed? Green circle, that pool isn't community, Karen. Green circle, I was wondering why it looked like Avatar water. 2 days later, a motion was passed internally. Karen's role as pool access coordinator was revoked, even though that role never officially existed. Karen avoided me for weeks after that. She sold her house 5 months later. Rumor says she blamed the toxic environment. I still have a camera, still have a gel. Haven't had to use it again yet. But every now and then I'll walk past the pool, check the smart lock, and smile. Because sometimes justice doesn't need volume. It just needs viscosity